Hi guys. Okay, I'm showing you a EMF meter real quickly. It's called Trifield model TF2. I'm not selling this or anything or marketing it. I'm just showing you what I've found at my house today. So I'll show you inside the this little brochure. So this shows you the reading of the display, and that is, so on the top left it shows the peak. It says that you see 36.9. That's the peak. So when there's certain pulses you get a higher reading typically. And then down here the field measurement right there, that's what we're going to kind of be looking at. But this measures the magnetic fields, and both standard and weighted, and this measures the electric fields, radio fields, and this one, the electric fields, the one I'm interested in today is this, for radio, microwave, RF frequencies, cell phones, Wi-Fi routers, microwave ovens, and radio TV stations. Turn knob to RF. It says, note that the brief pulses sent by transmitting cell phones and Wi-Fi routers will be displayed in a peak measurement in the upper left corner of the LCD. A radio quiet area will typically have less than 1 milliwatts per square meter as a peak. The field measurement numbers should read less than 200 milliwatts per square meter. See, so where that says 28.5, it should read less than under 200 if we're in a healthy, safe environment. Okay, so right now I'm in my backyard sitting under a tree, and right now the peak says, and I've got my cell phone in hand. I'm about probably 6 inches away from the meter, so it's a 0.015, and the it's like a 0.007. So that's the reading with cell phone in hand right now. And I'm going to also have the cell phone in hand when I go around the corner, and I'm going to show you all something. Whoops. So I'm going to put a glove on too. Okay, so I'm just looking at this again. We're there. See, look at that, it's peaking right now, and I'm on the back deck. See that way high? But the so the peaks are high. It says 154, 129, 96, 64. Okay, so now here I am. Do you see how high that's reading now? Let's see. .6866. 74.8. It's way over 200. And those peaks are way over 1. There's 2.2. So and this is what you see, that tower right there. And on our left, you see those 2 cell towers? They think they made them look like trees by that water tower. That's what's causing these pulses. So not a very safe environment here, and it probably explains why my bees are getting wiped out. So again, those are pretty high readings there. My phone's a little further away from the monitor than it was up by the house. So I'm in direct shot of that. There's no trees between us. That's the problem. So this is right by my chicken's coop too. This is what they're dealing with. The peak is 1.989 and the milliwatts per meter, whatever, it goes from 3 to 4 to... Either way, it's just too high. And I'm behind. Look, it's going up. I'm kind of behind some chicken wire too, so... We got a helicopter coming in. View the cactus. So right now I'm behind a big cactus, and I'm actually I'm under a wire too. I'm under my electric wire, so you would think that the readings would be high. So there, I just had to wait for the helicopter to go by, but so there's the readings right there with the phone and everything around the corner from that water tower that has the two cell towers on it. So it's quite a difference. So I just wanted to show you guys the readings. Quite high when you're in direct line of a cell tower, and quite low when I'm just behind my trees around the corner. So I wanted to read this little part in this DoD, that's Department of Defense, announces new locations for additional 5G testing and experimentation. I read this in my last video, so I just want to go over this one more time. Okay, so the Department of Defense, so the Defense Department already is heavily involved in investigating how 5G technology will best serve the warfighter. Experimentation is ongoing at 5 installations across the United States, with 7 more to come as part of the department's second tranche of test beds for 5G communications capability, DoD Technical Director for 5G said, and that's this guy. This is Joseph Evans. He's the Technical Director for the Department of Defense. And this is says 5G technology is vital to maintaining America's military and economic advantages. 5G will be the advent of ubiquitous connectivity, that is the conductivity of everything and everyone everywhere through wireless communications, Evans said. It's a transformational technology with the latest tranche of bases and experiments. DoD is ensuring that our military can make use of 5G capabilities based on innovations from U.S. industries. And that's the freaky thing. We seem so concerned about being attacked when it was our own people, our own government who attacked us on that special day in September, you know. So, I mean, why do we need so much technology? The technology is to protect them from us, it seems like. Because remember, again, I've covered this document many times, the Defense Intelligence Agency, the biological effects of electromagnetic radiation, radio waves, and microwaves. That's what I tested out back there. So again, this is the, what is that? Defense Intelligence Agency, Department of Defense. This is the State of the Nation, 2012.com. Sorry about this, is not focusing. I'll put the link in. I've put in the links in before in the body of the description of my video, but again, I'm going to read one more thing again. This document is prepared by the U.S. Army Medical Intelligence and Information Agency, or the Surgeon General. And of all these things they studied, all of these, the blood, cardio system, cells, central nervous system, glands, metabolism, all of these were negatively affected, all of them, in all these pages, sorry. So, okay, so remember, so this Department of Defense, the State of the Nation 2012 document of the biological effects of electromagnetic radiation, they know what this stuff does. So, and again, this little paragraph, it just really hits it home as to why they continue with this technology. And this says, in the more advanced nations of the West are strict in if the more advanced nations of the West are strict in the enforcement of stringent exposure standards, there could be unfavorable effects on industrial output and military functions. That means they can't get their military weapons to be used against us. That's what that means. So there could be unfavorable effects on the industrial output and military functions, not on our health, because it's already going to nail our health. And this stated, the Eurasian communist countries could, on the other hand, give lip service to strict standards, but allow their military to operate without restriction and thereby gain the advantage of electronic warfare techniques and the development of anti-personal applications. That means you can kill people without taking down the buildings, basically, without bombing them and ruining the infrastructure. You can just take out the people. So this is basically saying if the FCC, or whatever the body is that gives the safe limit exposures, if they do put strict enforcement of stringent exposure standards, then they can't nail us with their radio frequencies, which we saw outside. That was a huge, that's so bad for my health and anyone else's health that's in line of these, are in sight of these cell towers. And here's part of it. This is page 6. It's actually, I think it's page, hang on. So that was page Roman numeral 7, so this is 8, but it states, so sounds and possibly even words which appear to be originating intracranially can be induced by signal modulation at very low average power densities. So basically there's that voice to skull technique. They can, our technology, the V2K, they can put words in your brains. Again, I've covered this again, but it's important that we understand this. Animal experiments reported in open literature have demonstrated the use of low-level microwave signals to produce death by heart seizure or by neurological pathologies resulting from breaching of the blood-brain barrier. So when they want to use those weapons, their frequencies as weapons, they can, and this is something they could do, is give people heart seizures. This is another thing I wanted to show you guys. So this is on page 24. It says, in an animal study, it was reported that oral administration of caffeine in doses of 20 milligrams per kilogram lowered the duration of resistance against hypothermia caused by microwave irradiation. Caffeine did not influence the temperature at which the animals died, but it shortened the time to death. The reason for the lowered resistance of rats to microwave was attributed to caffeine's exciting effect on the central nervous system at CNS, which caused increased metabolic activity and consumption of oxygen. So So the caffeine, so attributed to the caffeine's exciting effect on the central nervous system, which caused increased metabolic activity and consumption of oxygen